Alright. This is what if Deku was the Blitz Gundam. Call me Blitz. If you don't get it, you're pure, okay? You're pure in this day and age. But anywho. So Izuku. I feel bad for you. Even though I'm the one that's doing this to you. I feel so bad to you. Like, I legit feel bad. And so when Deku was born, like in most of my what ifs, two children. There's him, and then there's Izumi, his little sister. But anyhow, he's born, he looks like this, but without the weapons. And it hurt for him to come out because he's literally made of metal. And like, he's just a tiny version of this. And like, he can talk and speak fluently and all this and that. And so she's like, get rid of him. I don't want him. And they're like, but Miss Midoriya, he was just born. And she says, I don't want him. He's a demon. And then he chimes in and he says, how am I a demon? How can non-organic matter be considered a demon? Could you explain? And she's like, you're a demon because you were born. And then he says, oh, I see. So by being born, everyone is a demon, correct? And she says, no, the rest of us are humans. You're the only demon. And he says, so that makes me special, doesn't it? And she says, no. The only one special here is your little Izumi. She is so graceful, like an angel. The opposite of you. And he says, I see. Well, what orphanage will I be going to? I truly do not care. Cause like, this dude, he's logical. He's like freaking Shockwave. Like, illogical. Back up, nigga. Now. Like, I will end you. But anywho. And so, I say, and you can walk to the orphanage yourself, right? And he says, yeah, I should be able to protect myself. While he's walking, he gets snatched. Brutally abused. Brought to the brink of death multiple times. He was hoed. He was abused by women. Like, sexually. And just abuse. And he got blamed for murder. So when he went to jail, they realized he doesn't talk, like, at all. Like, he can't do anything in court to defend himself because he can't talk. He doesn't talk. So it technically was not a fair trial. Because the box for his voice was crushed. So he can't speak. And so, while he's in prison, he just lets things happen to him. Like, he just lets people beat the heck out of him. and stuff like that. Like, they just do. And, like, the only part of him that's human is his face, which he can take off, like, the part of the mask. And he has a face, but, like, he's mute. Like, he cannot talk. One day, people are like, you must have a real face. Come on, show us. And so, like, he uses a piece of paper and writes down, okay, shows it to them, and takes it off. And they see this little kid with all these scars and all this. And he writes down on another piece of paper, are you satisfied with what you say? Shows it to them, and they're just in horror. And, like, he smiles a little and puts it back on. Like, everybody saw this. So they're like, what did that kid go through? Like, and, like, once they found, like, hey, he wasn't responsible for what happened, he didn't do it, somebody else did. It had already been 6 years, so he's 11 at this point. And then, like, when he's walking out of the jail, gets snatched up again. And for 4 years, goes through the same stuff. Just over and over again. And then he finally gets tired of it. He repairs his voice. And he says, well, he had already repaired it. He just didn't like to talk because he had gotten so used to not talking. And so he just says, you damn brats! And he just goes ham. He creates the 2 katanas, and he's just slice and dice. And they're like normal katanas, but like they're made out of tungsten. I'm gonna bring in vibranium, so like they can store kinetic energy for multiple hits, and so are his fists. Like, he mainly uses his fists, but he wanted to be brutal because he had gotten so tired of it. Because, like, if you had gone through, like, all of that stuff, wouldn't you snap at some point? Like, wouldn't you try to kill them if you had gotten the chance? And so, like, the heroes, they got, like, a noise complaint to go to, like, the warehouse that he was stored in. And there were, like, 400 guys. And so, like, he's just slicing off heads and everything. And then Aizawa comes in, and he just sees this man just, like, finishing off the last dude. And he shoves the sword down, like, into the dude's head. And he pulls it out, flicks the blood off of it, and puts it back in its sheath. And he's like, villain, stop right there. And he says, villain? Villain? He goes from demon to monster. And then villain. What a difference. Birth, demon. Prison, monster. And now a villain. How funny. Do you not know what I've been through, you insolent hero? I thought you all would come and save me. I truly did. But I gave up of that. I gave up. Do you want to know why? Because it took you 14 years to realize that there could have been something wrong. I never even went to the orphanage that I was supposed to go to. I was there at birth because of that woman. Because of her. Because of them.
Zayden!
And Shoo!
Where at?
I'm doing a YouTube video.
Can you hook up this internet?
No, I'm doing something.
Please?
Oh my god. Sorry, y'all. I gotta do something. Because people decide to bother me while I'm trying to do something. Sorry, y'all. I just have to do this real quick because people don't know how to not bother somebody.
Hello?
Shut it, Mario. I'm trying to do something.
Who's this?
Zayden, be quiet. Recording a YouTube video. No, be quiet. I gave y'all a piece of paper with the password. Now leave. Shoo. Sorry, guys. Had to deal with a couple of issues. Sorry. But anywho, back to the story. So he just cracks and he does a the Broly pose where he's like that woman. She's the cause of all my problems. She's the reason why all of this had to happen. And, I forgot to mention this. Inko was the one that is in charge of all the people. Or, no, she's the one that told them all to get him. So, yeah, she about to get what's coming to her. Just wait a minute. That's all you gotta do. Just wait a minute. But anyhow, he's like, I had to deal with all that for 14 years. I was hoed. I was raped. I was tortured. I was abused. I was sexually abused. I was mentally abused. Do you know what I had to go through? He's just mad, and he lunges at Aizawa and All Might steps in front of him and he grabs All Might by the neck, slams him down and starts hold on. But yeah, and then the kinetic energy becomes electricity, so he basically can do what Miles Morales can do with his hands. He just turns on the electricity. But yeah, starts rushing. Go make a wrong move, but he bop you. Exactly. But yeah. After he gets done with All Might, he throws him at Aizawa, lunges at Aizawa, gets Aizawa by the foot, and starts hitting him. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Right, left, right, left. He's swinging him over one side to another. Boom, 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 doing what Broly did to Goku. And then he but anywho, they go and so Deku, he goes and he starts. Sorry, I had to relocate because of some issues. Otherwise known as family. But anywho, he goes and he finishes with Aizawa. And then All For One had came in and he wants to be the one that kills All Might. So he goes in and tries to defend him because Deku, he was gonna go right back at him. And then Deku, he realized something. All Might, he knew that All Might was his dad. Well, apparently his dad, but All For One is his real dad. And he says, "Father?" And he says, "Huh?" And he says, "You're Hasashi Midoriya." Ever thought the symbol of terror would be my father? And he says, "Well, we can't pick and choose, now can we?" And he says, "So you're Izuku?" And he says, "Uh-huh. Deadbeat dad." And he says, hey, let's not do that. Just because I didn't pay no child support." And he stops him right there. He's just like, "Nigga, that ain't even a problem. I don't care. I got sent to an orphanage by that woman. Legit. I don't care about no child support. I don't care about none of that crap. I got sent to an orphanage because of that woman. But even then, I didn't even go to the orphanage. Because I had to," and he just lists all the stuff. And All For One's like, "Nigga, you've gone through enough trauma." And he touches his robot head. And he gives him his quirk. All of it. And he says, "Well, goodbye, son." So it's fading away. And he's like, "Nigga, I know. Whatever." And he's just like, "My God. This crap." And almost crud. He has his quirk. God, what am I going to do? He's already strong enough to completely murder me. But yeah, and the swords, they're at both of his hips. So yeah. And then he's just like, substantial power boost. Dope. And he just walks over to All Might and says, "How's that wife and little kid of yours doing? How would I pay my mother and that little brat Izumi a visit?" And he says, "Mother? We only had one kid according to her." And he says, "No, you had two. Well, you had one child. She had two. Izumi is your daughter. But I am All For One's son. But I do also have your quirk. Thanks for the other power boost." And he says, "What?" "Yes, both me and Izumi got your quirk. But me, I also got 3 other quirks. Super regeneration, shock absorption, and a quirk called Infinite Res." And he says, "Infinite Res? What kind of name is that?" And he says, "I made it up on the fly. You don't have time to do stuff when you're going through all the crap that I had to go through." He's like, "Yeah, what does it do?" And he basically says, "Hold up, wait a minute, why should I tell you? I should be killing you." And like, then Nezu, like, he walks up to him, and like Deku, he's like 8 foot, so he's taller than All Might. And like, Nezu just walks up to him and like climbs up him and like sits on his shoulder, and he's like, "Do you want to go to UA?" And he says, "What?" And like, he looks at him and he says, "Whose gerbil is this?" And like, All Might, like, he cracks up a little bit and like eyes out, he starts laughing. And he says, "Not funny. Whose gerbil is this?" And he says, "I am Principal Nezu. For your information." And he says, "Yeah, you're a gerbil. I understand that." And he says, "I am a principal." And like, he starts beating on his head, and he's like, "You know you ain't gonna do anything to me, right?" And he says, "Yeah, but you are a robot. That's why I brought an EMP." And he says, "That ain't gonna work either." He says, "Why is that?" "'Cause I also have heartbeat and blood. 'Cause technically I'm half human, half robot." He's like, "But your entire body is made of metal. Explain." He says, "No. Mostly all of me is made of metal. My, dick and my face aren't." And he says, "Sure, show me." He says, "Alright." Takes it off, and they see like all the scars and stuff, and they're like, he wasn't bluffing. He legit had to go through all of that. Okay, wow. What what are we going to do? Oh yeah, and by the way, he doesn't have like that white thing on there. He doesn't have that. Yeah. On the head. Yeah, he doesn't have that thing. But anyway, he just says, "But UA, yeah, I'll go. Why not? I don't have anything better to do with my life. I mean, most of it was wasted. Couldn't even be a kid. Couldn't even go to an orphanage. You don't even know what being a kid is like." And he says, "So what should your name be?" And he says, "Well, my birth name that my mother was going to give me was Izuku. But that name is cursed. So, call me Blitz. Sorry." I hate this house. I truly do. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I truly do. I hate it. I hate being here. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I'm about to break this clock. Peanut! What was he eating? I don't like this. Anyhow. And then All Might chimes in, and he says, "We can't let a villain go to UA." And Deku, he just like holds up one hand, puts the electricity on. He's like, "Come again?" And he says, "I said we could not let a villain go to UA. Or in the words of your mother, demon." What is he eating? Peanut, is he eating chips? Or is that plastic? Anywho, sorry. So he goes, goes and he starts or All Might says, or in the words of your mother, demon, go to UA. And he says, yeah, Nezu, I'm gonna have to kill the number one hero. Give me a second. He just says, Taido, Shinai, Kuro. And they say, what? And he says, Shinai! Which means, die. And, like, he rushes at him. He unleashes the sword. Electricity on it. And, like, he stops right before he's about to kill him. And, like, he just says, I'll just take an ear. How about that? And he says, what? Cuts off his ear. Like, he literally cuts off All Might's ear. And All Might's like, my ear. My ear. And he says, now, it'll be the other one if you call me demon again. And so, like, they take All Might to Recovery Girl, and she, like, I don't feel like I should, because you literally called a kid that's been through hell demon and villain. But I have to, because they'd revoke my nursing license. But sure, okay. So she heals him against her own will. And All Might's like, ugh. And like Izumi, she has a telekinesis quirk, so she's Mob Psycho, basically. Yeah, she's Mob Psycho. Yeah. Also, I will be doing a What If Deku Was Killmonger from Black Panther, because nobody has done it, so I will be original. And if any of my subscribers try to beat me to it, that you will know pain. Quoting pain. But anywho. So, he walks over. And like, he's at UA and he's like, where am I gonna stay? And they say, well, first we'll get you some food. And he says, I've never eaten a day in my life. You think I need food? And they say, wait, you've never eaten a day in your life? So you don't know what any food tastes like? And like, he chimes in and he says, well, good. A demon doesn't know. A demon should know the delicacies of us humans. And Deku, he just says, you're getting real close to me chopping off your head. And he says, I do not care what you do. That will just prove my fact that you are a villain. And he just says, you really want to get the crap beaten out of you, don't you? And he says, you can go ahead and try, villain. And he just says, like, he makes the swords disappear. And he says, hardening quirk. Enhancement quirk. Enhancement quirk. Enhancement quirk. Enhancement quirk. Enhancement quirk. Enhancement quirk. Hardening, hardening, hardening. And he says, what? And like, he just strikes All Might dead square in his gut. And boom! Done. Bye-bye. But anyhow. So, he goes. And he starts Man, I'm tired of these people. I'm going up to my room. I'm tired of these people. They do too much. They talk too much, and they don't know how to leave a nigga alone. They legit do too much. Everybody say "Ayo" in the comments if you dislike your family. Because they do too much. And you can say, "Oh, you're just being whiny. Cut your crybaby, nigga." And I'll say, "Shut your bitch ass up. I don't want to fucking talk to you." Like, you know what they have to make me do? Like, all the time, ain't nobody doing nothing. The only time I ain't doing nothing is right now. Because I have a broken leg. It's the only reason. Because otherwise, I'd be doing everything around the house. But yeah. But anyway. My nigga Izuku gives All Might the injury. Or no, he undoes the injury. And then he goes and runs over to what's her name? No. So Midnight, she runs over and she's like, "Who's this hunky hero?" And he says, "Be gone, thought." And she slithers away and she's like, "How do you know the magic words?" And he says, "I've dealt with your kind before." And then Aizawa chimes in and he says, "She was a thought?" And he says, "Yeah. You can tell by the way she walks." And he's like, "Thought she was a hoe." And he says, "No." But anyway, so he goes. And he says, "Alright, so which one of y'all niggas am I staying with?" And they say, "You can stay with Mr. Nezuko." And he says, "Oh, I'm staying with Gerbil Boy?" Okay. And like, Nezuko, he creates a plasma laser. And like, he shoots it at Deku. And it does absolutely nothing. It just bounces off. And he's like, "How?" And he says, "I am literally made of every type of metal on Earth. Plus vibranium and diamond and brimstone. Or not brimstone, obsidian. Or no, brimstone, obsidian, and nano ether. And every other metal." He says, "Legit? You're serious?" He says, "Yeah." And like, he breaks off like a tiny piece, and then like it, like his armor repairs itself, and he hands it to him, and like, he puts it under a like scanner to see what all the materials are, and he's like, "Nigga, you wasn't kidding." He's like, "Why would I be kidding? I don't kid. I am not a kid. I'm literally a walking tank." And he says, "How? Which way?" And he says, "One of my other born quirks was creation, and I can just think of something and create it. Like this." He creates the BFG 9000 from Doom.
What I tell you to do?
Oh my. What?
Now.
What? What do you want?
I want that basket of clothes.
Which one?
The ones
God, I'll do it in a minute.
No, now.
Woman, I'm doing something. My God.
What, nothing?
Woman, I'm on my phone. You did absolutely nothing.
Well, when you get down here, I will.
Ugh, she annoys me. Yeah, I gotta deal with these freaking retards all day. Anyhow, so we goes, and it's just pure chaos. Cause like he's calling Nezu a gerbil, and Nezu's like, I am not a gerbil, and it's just this weird thing, and like
How about I start
they're
moving
best
stuff up
buds
the
and
stairs?
stuff like that. Oh my God! Give me a minute. I have to deal with a nuisance. Anyhow, this will be where I end the what if off. We didn't even get to the entrance exam because of my freaking family, because they don't know how to leave a nigga alone. But, hey, I guess it doesn't matter, because whatever they want me to do, I have to do it.
Stop that.
So, yeah. But, anyhow. Bye, everybody. This shouldn't take long to upload. Bye.